The Empty Pot of Truth. In a faraway kingdom, there lived an elderly king with no children. Knowing his time was nearing its end, he needed to choose a successor. One day, he called all the children of the kingdom to his castle and made a surprising announcement. "I will choose my heir based on a test," he declared. "Each of you will be given a single seed. Take it home and plant it in a pot. Tend to it, nurture it, and return in 6 months with your plant. The child with the most beautiful plant will become the next ruler." The children were excited and took the seeds home eagerly. Among them was a boy named Lee. He planted his seed carefully, just as the king instructed. Days passed, and Lee watered his pot diligently, placed it under the sunlight, and made sure it had the right amount of soil. Yet, nothing sprouted. While other children boasted about how their plants were growing tall and lush, Lee's pot remained empty. 6 months later, the day of the test arrived. Children from across the kingdom presented their beautiful plants, tall flowers, strong shrubs, and even small trees. Lee, however, stood at the back of the crowd, ashamed of his empty pot. His friends tried to convince him not to show it to the king, but Lee, with a heavy heart, decided to be honest. When it was his turn, Lee walked slowly to the throne, holding his empty pot. The king examined it closely, then asked Lee, "What happened, young man?" "I tried my best, Your Majesty," Lee said, his voice trembling. "I watered it every day, gave it sunlight, and used the best soil, but nothing grew." A smile spread across the king's face. He stood up and addressed the crowd. "Today, I have found the next ruler of our kingdom," he proclaimed. The children and their parents were shocked and confused. "All of you, except for Lee, brought me plants grown from other seeds. The seeds I gave you had been boiled and were no longer capable of growing." The king continued, "I wanted to see who would be honest, even in the face of failure and shame. Lee has shown true integrity. He is the only one who brought me an empty pot, just as I had given him." The people of the kingdom cheered as the king placed his crown upon Lee's head, declaring him the new prince of the land. Moral of the story: honesty and integrity are more valuable than success achieved through deceit. Always choose the path of truth, even when it seems difficult or impossible.